everyone! Today I am finally starting work on a brand new cosplay. This time, Zapp Brannigan from Futurama. Now you may judge me for this, and trust me, I judge myself for this, but I relate a lot to Zapp Brannigan, which is kinda bad, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not a genuine creep like Brannigan is, but just, I don't know, something about his character, I see myself reflected in that idiot. Zapp has actually been on my to cosplay list for a very long time. I always put him off for one reason or another, but this year, James and I are attending Icon Photo Fest, which is in September, and currently it is early July. I was choosing which cosplays to take for that event because all of my cosplays are in storage in New South Wales. I don't have any cosplays with me. So I wanted to pick three, one for each day of the event, that would be comparatively easy to do because my sewing skills are still not the best. And I figured that Zapp is actually a fairly straightforward cosplay, so he should be pretty easy to do. And also, cosplaying Zapp just gives me an opportunity to be a giant ham, and if nothing else, I'm a giant ham. So, today I am finally actually getting started. So far, all I have done is order a wig, which is fantastic, and buy the materials for his, uniform? Dress? Whatever you call that thing. So I've got the materials, I've got fabric to do a mock-up, got my sewing machines, and I also got a pattern. Let me show you. So at one of the local op shops, I got this sort of 70s-ish pattern for 50 cents, which is great. No idea what conditions it's in, even if all the pieces are there, but I don't know how well it will focus, but this purple one with the sort of high neckline, that is exactly right. It's got a long sleeve variation, so this is going to be really helpful. It's definitely not going to be my size. It says it's a size 20, but this is like ye olde sizing, bust 42. I know my bust is bigger than a 42, so I'll have to size it up if the pattern pieces are even all in there, which is what I'm about to find out. In good news, all the pieces were there. So we have front, back, sleeve, collar, and instructions. So next things next, read said instructions and get cutting the mock-up. So we have the crappiest mock-up in existence. If you thought my ones for Sabriel was shit, this is shit. So I sized it up okay. I kind of forgot to size up the armhole area, so my sleeve is a lot bigger than my armhole. But what I'm going to do is whip it on for you. I sized it up so much that I can just slip it on without undoing the zipper, so installing that was an absolute waste of time. However, I decided I'm not going to bother figuring out the darts and stuff in the mock-up because it's kind of pointless. Like, I'm just going to do that in the final. But anyways, so we fit, but yeah, as you can see, this does not fit at all. So I'm going to do my usual trick of just drawing in some chalk to figure out how much bigger I need to make the armhole bit. Then I'll trim it, sew the actual sleeve to it, and see where we're at. Though actually thinking. I shouldn't do the chalk thing. I should just actually take this off, measure it, and attach the sleeve to it, because then I can always size it down a bit. Alright, gonna do that. This is my third take of showing you shitty mock-up number 2 and apologizing for the tooty train and the drivey traffic and the diggy town clock bell. It's just, it's one of those days and now I'm gonna sneeze. Or not, okay. So, basically, in short, this sleeve, I bolted up. It's not working. I'm not sure if it's also because I needed to put this bust dart in. Fortunately, I have one armhole that I didn't start messing around with because I was too lazy to put in both sleeves. I figured I don't need to put in both sleeves, which means I am going to get my trusty chalk, figure out how much bigger this needs to be, which probably like just down by like a centimeter or 2, which makes sense because I made this one way too huge, and then I will fiddle with the other sleeve to fit. Like, yay that my laziness in not wanting to put both sleeves in actually has paid off, and we'll see how that goes. It is in, it is a sleeve, it is absolutely not perfect, but it is, well, like, look at my two sides, look at my two sides. This is hot garbage. This is not great, but it's at least a functional sleeve. Like, actually, this is a really good reference for myself seeing the back. Ignore the fact that the zip is just literally pinned in. But yeah, it's like, it's not a great fit, but it's a fit, and that is really, really good. So, next up is going to be take the mock-up apart and get on with the real thing, I think. Oh, actually, no, I've got to figure out my little doodad flappy flaps, but we getting there. I finished cutting my mock-up in the proper fabric, in the velour, well, velveteen technically. I really lucked out because there was just enough. That, literally that is all my scraps. That is all that's left. I did have to cut the sleeves short. They're like 3/4 sleeves, but that should be fine because of the gloves. Now I'm trying to figure out a pattern for the like flappy arm doodads. I'm like, it'll need to get sewn inside the shoulder seam, so let's cut it to the size of the top of the sleeve. And now I'm like, I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I just need to, you know, do it that kind of shape, but we'll see how I go. This project is proving to me that my confidence in my sewing skills is vastly different from the reality of my sewing skills. Ooh, it's so shiny on camera. But yeah, I decided screw it. I've cut out one of my shoulder shapes and I'm just gonna quickly run it up in the machine, stick some cable-y stuff that James got me to use as stuff to give it its shape. I'm just doing it. I mean, I know that this is not a good approach to sewing, and most of my problems come from the fact that I go, just fuck it, we're doing it, but fuck it, we're doing it. One shiny banana. Let's go to the, whatever that shit's called, mirror. Yeah, I think that'll do. I think, oh, because it's gonna be more like there. I think that'll do fine. Two space bananas! So I've just been sewing, like, easy bits just to get stuff done without having to actually think. And where are they? And I sewed the darts into the bodice, the chest darts. And because they are titty darts, my brain is giving me all the songs that can have titty darts. So, first of all, titty darts, do 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 do, titty darts, do 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 do, titty darts, do 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 do, titty darts. You're welcome. The other one, I've got faith in my darts, titty 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 darts. It is a brand new day. We are slightly less than 3 weeks out from Icon, which is terrifying. Off camera, I got the zip, long ass zip, pinned into place, and I am rummaging through my sewing supplies to see if I have a zipper foot. I actually have no idea what any of these are, but that looks potentially hopeful because it's narrow. I'm gonna have to do some Googling. Google tells me that this little guy probably is a zipper foot, and I'm basing that on sort of this area here. So yay! I've never sewed a successful zipper in my life, so wish me luck. I just realized I keep saying wish me luck. But like, you can see why I need it. That wasn't deliberate. I ain't too good at this. Here's another reason why I need that luck. I did not have enough red thread to actually spool up my bobbin and have it as the top thread. So I'm going to sew the zipper in with this as the bobbin thread, because since I'm sewing it, you know, upside down from the zipper side, the bobbin thread will be the one that'll be visible on the outside of the garment. And I'll just do brown for the top thread, and then I guess that means I'm probably going to be not doing much more work on Zapp today, because I'll need to buy more red thread, but that's okay, I've got other things I can do. I had such high hopes, but look, it can you see? Will this focus this close up? Not really, but this zipper foot does not fit my machine. the needle is hitting the plate rather than going in the hole. So not necessarily my luckiest day. And again, I say wish me luck, because I'm going to try sewing this zip with a regular foot and mismatching thread, and yeah, I'm not optimistic, but I'm giving it a go anyway. And I'm not filming it because I'm not optimistic. It worked. It worked. I mean, I got to fix up the top because I couldn't sew past the actual zip part, but look, it's in. It's in. It's a bit messy, but you know, it doesn't look too bad. The color of the thread isn't really a match because it was a burgundy thread, not a bright red, but I don't care. It seems to be in. It seems to be functional. I don't mind doing a bit of hand sewing at the top. I'm now gonna seam rip this open and test that it's actually working. Behold me in my glorious red sack and my slippers and jammy pants. But it is on, it is functional, which is great. The little booby darts turned out good. Ooh, boobs look booby from that angle. Anyway, I need to adjust the neckline a bit because I raised it on the front but not the back, so the back is kind of gapey. So I'm going to trim a bit off there and see how we go. And then I need to figure out the darts for the sort of midsection, but it's coming along. I started messing around with the neckline, and then I realized that until I have the collar ready to put in, probably not the smartest idea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, not sure of the order, insert the sleeves and the wing-a-ding-dings, and also do the darts on the front. Probably darts first, actually. I've just eyeballed these two darts for the front, and we will see how they go. We are certainly getting there. It's a bit hard to see in the mirror shot, but I effectively ended up turning the bust dart and the under bust dart into sort of a faux princess seam. Needs to still come in more, needs to also come in sort of there at the side and at the back quite a lot. I'm kind of frustrated, so I'm gonna stop working on it now, and I'll pick you guys back up when I am at the point of inserting the sleeves, because I think all these darts is gonna be quite a bit of fiddling, but we're getting there. I want to like cry, but in a good way. This took me so long to figure out, and like it's wrinkly and shit, but I just kind of don't care. It fits, it zips. I gotta fix, oh gosh, I'm bad at filming with an actual camera. I gotta fix a bit of sleeve business, but kind of don't care. Like I got an armpit hole here, but it is functional. It looks fitted and red. All right, so time for an update with a few more actual words in it. After I put it on, I was like, oh, that fucking fits. I went out and I had a chat with James. He zipped me up and he was having a look at the fit because, yeah, it's not perfect. I mean, how well can you see this? Like, see all those wrinkles? It ain't great, but I'm sort of at a point where I'm like, I have to kind of just call it and be like, it is good enough. Anyway, he noticed that if it sort of pulled up a bit, because the placement of my darts is shit, it fit a lot better. And then he suggested, I don't know how well you can see, is just folding this bit over here and sewing it down. Now that's kind of referential of like Star Trek uniforms, and I think Zapp's dress uniform does that, so it's a bit non-canon, but I think it looks really nice. It does make the whole thing fit a lot better, so I'm gonna do it. So basically gonna sew this down, and then I think I'm going to trim off all the excess from all these darts, which aren't darts anymore, they're just whatever the hell they are, to see if that makes it fit a little better, and zigzag all the insides to make it not completely fall apart. But yeah, it's getting there. The line across the chest really helps, so thanks, James. Once again, making all my cosplays better. Actually, I can say that for a second. I mean, not that you have a choice, of course you're staying there. But speaking of James making my cosplays better, pop this box. So James found this guy on Reddit who did cereal boxes for a whole bunch of like different animated cartoons, and He downloaded the files, I got them printed at a local place, James put it together for me, so I get to be, these look great, whack-a-mole. I actually can't say guacamole properly anymore, I always say guacamole and then get embarrassed, so So I've got that line stitched down, I think it looks rather good. I have trimmed away all the excess in those, seams. I'm gonna go ahead and do something before I, actually no, I'm not gonna do all the zigzagging, aren't I? Wah, I wanna do the zigzagging, I wanna do fun stuff. But basically, I'm gonna do the zigzagging, and then I'm going to be putting the bands of gold all across the shoulder seams, for which I have fabric glue. I've already tested to make sure that this fabric sticks to this fabric, and it does, so zigzagging ho, I guess. Oh, actually, you know what, fuck it. It's kind of a piece of shit, I don't care. I do not care. It's not gonna come apart. So, let us cut some things. What I've got here is some cardboard, which I will stick underneath to make sure the glue doesn't go everywhere. Fuck it, it's not going to stick to the table. Well, I mean, it might stick to the table, but if it sticks to the table is plastic, so it doesn't really matter. Cardboard was only there was going to be some of the other rest of the garment underneath, but there is not. Alright, so that basically just needs to go along there. Stinky, 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 stinky. Let's do it. Stinky, stinky. Use some of that cardboard as an impromptu paintbrush, because should I have grabbed a paintbrush or some Q-tip or something? Yes. Did I? No. Edges, off the edges, because I'm really good and coordinated and great at doing stuff. So when they did that song in Barbie, it's like, you know, my name's Ken and I'm good at doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, that relates. Alright, that is on. We're gonna leave that. I'm gonna take a break and see what happens. I think I need to redo these guys because I need a bit more space at the bottom to actually sew it in, where there's the cable-y stuff I put in is too close, so there's not enough room to actually sew. And I think that needs to be almost like twice as tall. Not to be obnoxious, and it's not obnoxious, it just looks kind of neat. And I think with where that goes to the back, I think that's pretty good lengthwise. But yeah, I'm looking pretty good. Like, see the bust line is nice, the shoulder them things is nice. We're getting there. Ta-da! First of the new wings, second of the new wing. I thought I would film the assembly so that this video actually has some sewing in it, not just me talking. Optimistic. So what I'm doing now is, because as I was fiddling with the fit, the dart that went into the side of the tit, my tit dart, tit dart, gosh, it's windy. Sort of the shape of the armhole changed a lot, the shape and potentially the size. So what I am doing is I am just pinning the sleeve in. I'll have to unpin it and put the wings in first, but I'm just pinning the sleeve in to see if these things are even remotely still the same size. I really hope they are, because I have no fabric left. Just enough to do the collar, and that's it. I mean, I could always buy more, but I don't want to, because money. And also, Spotlight is like 20 minutes away, and I don't want to do that. Right, so pinning this in, and soon I will either shriek in despair or delight, but I think it's going to be delight, because this appears... Oh my fuck. Oh yeah, when the wind gets heavy, the lights flicker, so, you know, if I leave that in, no, you're not having a moment, that's just the lights flickering here. Oh my fuck, oh my fuck, oh my fucking fuck. The sleeves fit, that is perfect. Alright. Now to unpin that, I'm going to sew these in first, and then I actually want to apply the circles to the arms before I sew the sleeve up. So actually what I might do is put that on and figure out where that circle needs to be. Off camera, I did a lot of fiddling with the size and the placements of the arm circles, and now I am going to glue them down. I have cardboard to stick underneath, so they will not stick to themselves. And as before, I'm just going to use my fingers and some cardboard to act as a brush for gluing. I've got them pinned. What's really good is the fabrics kind of stick to each other as is, so I'm just going to I'm going to unpin one half, glue that down, then do the other half. I'm not putting on the costume while I film this outro because of it's a bit awkward to get on and off. I kind of made it a little too tight across the bust area, and the zip doesn't go down low enough on the back because I sewed it badly, so it's a little awkward to get on and off. So you don't get to see it until I finish talking to you, and then you get to see all of it because, yes, you're gonna have so many good photos. Before I give you my thoughts on the project and show you the final reveal, I just want to run you through a few bits that you didn't see me put together. First of all, gloves! So, you didn't see these because I didn't sew them. These are just a pair of dishwashing gloves that I got off AliExpress. They're not great, let me show you, because they are a bit big and wrinkly and stuff, but they will do. It's one of the things I will probably upgrade about this cosplay in future, is doing better gloves. Second is actually still drying. It is the belt buckle. You can see it's all patchy from the glue. James cut this shape for me out of foam. I covered it with the same gold fabric that I used on the costume. It's got a couple of loops on the back for the belt to feed through, and I'm just going to be wearing this with a plain black belt. And last of all, stompy ass gumboots. The gumboots were also a thank you, James, for finding and buying, because I had tried to buy like fashionable boots, like heeled boots off AliExpress, and both pairs that I tried were too small, like smaller than advertised, because I mean I got fat thighs, like calves. I was expecting them to maybe not zip up, but to not actually be able to fit my foot. Bit dodgy. And they were beige, so that was a big no-no. Then in terms of props, as you saw, James made me that glorious poplars box, and I will put a link in the description to the person who actually designed the thing on Reddit, so you can look at it, make your own, check out the other designs that he did. We have a teeny tiny Planet Express ship that I'm taking as a prop, and we may have one more thing that you'll see in the reveal, depending on whether it gets done in time for Icon, which at time of me filming this, we leave for Icon in 3 days, and the weather had been appalling. We lost power for like 18 hours, and Tasmania is crazy at the moment. But despite all of that, I got Zapp finished, and I'm really, really happy about that. In terms of my sort of opinion on the project, on the one hand, I am so proud of myself. This was challenging. This was a lot of new things. I haven't sewn with velveteen before. I haven't used that kind of lame fabric before. Haven't used fabric glue before. Have not successfully inserted a zipper before. Haven't made something with a collar before. Haven't done those weird wings on the sleeves before. And I was sort of half winging it with the pattern. So that's a lot of firsts, and yeah, it's not perfect, especially the fit across the bodice and stuff. It's not great, it's wrinkly, because trying to turn the sort of the two darts into a princess seam effectively was really challenging, and I don't think it really worked out that well. But despite all of that, he looks good. Like, I'm going to make an excellent Zapp Brannigan in this costume, and so I think it sort of fulfills the brief. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the quality, but at the same time, I'm really freaking proud of myself and what I achieved with this costume. I'm gonna stop talking now and roll on to showing you some of the photos that I got in this costume at Icon Photo Fest. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye!